How's it, guys? Welcome to another great episode of Rat Dad Toolbox. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking tires, very expensive tires, and how to get them really inexpensive and not pay full retail, plus their warranties, plus their mounting, plus their balancing, and all that stuff. We're actually going to talk a little bit about BMW tires. They're always expensive. In fact, my wife runs Run Flat Goodyear LS2s on her X5, and they're super expensive. So we're going to talk today how to get them for half, 30, 40% instead of paying full retail for them. So this is going to be a good episode. So glad you're joining us. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and pound that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi guys, welcome back. So let's dig into tires. Tires can be crazy money. People, when they think of tires, they think of big money. The tire shop wants to sell you all kinds of warranties and the best tires, and they cost a ton of money, and they can really set you back. And I hate spending money I don't need to spend. And so today we're going to talk about tires. I'm going to talk specifically about tires for my wife's BMW X5, but this applies to just the general approach to tires and allowing yourself to really save some dough so you can go on vacation, so you actually have savings in your account, and oh, guess what? You could even have a retirement. Anyway, so this is what we're talking about today. So I'm going to flash up on the screen. So my wife's BMW runs Goodyear LS2 Run Flats, 18-inch, and they're really a cool tire, frankly. You know, my daughter was driving. She's driving on her learner's permit. She was driving the other day, and I told her to avoid this rock that was right in the middle of the road, and she nailed it, and it took out a tire, and scared her spitless, scared us all spitless, but she hit it just square, and it just blew the tire. But what was so cool is it really didn't affect it a lot. We could drive it. We were doing 35, 40. I think you can go up to 50 or 55, and that's great. But we drove it all the way home, no problem. In fact, I ended up driving it back down to the tire shop when I got the tires, and it drove just fine. So run flats can be cool, but they can be mucho dinero, a lot of money. And we have to be careful spending money. I just don't like to spend money I don't need to spend. So we went out, and I got a quote on, and this is what they'll tell you, by the way, so be careful of this. Every tire shop, and they kind of feel like they're obligated to tell you, and there's some truth to it, but there's also a little fudge factor in there. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. When you have an all-wheel drive car, they'll say if you, for example, have 2 worn tires, they'll want to replace all 4. And their thinking is it actually changes the gear ratios, and it can mess up the differential and the torque adjusting, sensing things of like the X-Drive. If you have a 230 seconds on the front and a 830 seconds on the back. And there's a little truth to that, but it's not quite as severe as they'd like you to think. And so in my wife's case, the tire that my daughter hit, it took it out, right? It was gone. Nothing we could do about that. And the other tire was kind of worn anyway. So I went out and I got a quote to see what 4 would be, just for fun, and what 1 would be. And they were $230 and some change. And you can see it, I'll flash it up here on the screen, $230 a piece. So what's the math? 4 times 230, $920 and some change, depending on what that penny amount is, past the 230. But 920 was, and some change, and that doesn't include mounting or balancing or any warranty or, you know, whatever they want to upsell you on. And so I'm thinking in my head, I'm rounding it up. I'm going, it's going to be $1,000 if I put all 4 on. Well, it really only needed 2 tires. And so check this out. I'm going to flash this up on the screen. eBay, love them. Went to eBay, got 2 tires, and I want you to notice, I'll let this last for just a second on the screen, 95% remaining, essentially new. I got 2 tires for $260 instead of 1 tire for $230 and some change. And they're 95%. And, you know, I read in the fine print that they had plugged them and professionally repaired them, and they had free returns, so in case they weren't holding air, I could have returned them. But guess what? They patched them right. They were plugged, they were patched from the inside, and done very professionally. So we had 2 tires mounted for $280. Instead of 1 tire for $230. So this is a big, big thing. You don't necessarily need brand new tires. It's always fun, but most of us, most of you, have to put it on a credit card. or have to hit your overdraft or something like that. A lot of you pay cash, I get it, but there's a lot of you that pay credit. Don't put new tires on credit. Don't pay new tire prices. Be smart with your money, do some research, find out if there's another tire that's very close to what you need. And in this case, they were like, I want to say 930 seconds. I don't remember what I flashed up here on the screen, but the back ones were like 830 seconds. And when it's only 1/32 between the front and the back, there is zero, I don't care what anyone tells you, effect on the differential or on the four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive system. It doesn't hurt it. If it was way off, there's an argument that says over time it could do a little damage, but when it's that even, 2 tires replaced. They don't have to replace all 4. So that's a fallacy. I hope you found this helpful. I'm actually going to show one other example of tires. I just got a quote on my F350 Platinum for 4 brand new, the 35-inch 12.5/20. So this is a big tire, all-terrain KO2. So that's a mouthful. And I got a quote for $1,700. And I just went, wow. I love those tires. I put them on all my trucks since high school. And I was in high school just a few years ago. It wasn't that long. No, I'm kidding. I put a long time ago. Anyway, I put them on all my trucks because I really like the performance of the tire. And I was able, check this out. This will blow your mind. And I'll flash a picture of it here in just a second. But I got $1,700 worth of tires in essence, and that was mounted and balanced and all that, so I get that. I can get them mounted and balanced for about 10 or 15 a piece, but check this out. I paid, I'm gonna put this up here. Bear with me here for a minute. You're gonna like what you see. Okay, so what I was quoted, basically $1,700 to mount and balance. I found a set of 4, all 4 at about 60 to maybe 70% plus. So these are good tires. I got a set of 4 for $110. I got all 4 for $110. Blows your mind. That's how you save money. I ended up getting a set of 4 BFG KO2. Guess what I'm doing? I'm putting those on my truck and I'm driving them for another 30, 35,000 miles, even though they're not brand new. And I'm gonna save a ton of money. And that's what it's all about. So be careful with your tires. We'll do some more tire videos in the future, but I hope you've learned something here. Use resources like eBay, use resources like Craigslist. In my area, we've got some other classifieds that we can use that help too. But find yourself a good set of used tires and make sure, by the way, that the code on the side of the tire, there's a code, look for it, Google it, and it'll tell you how old the tire is. Now, you don't want a 10-year-old tire. The reason why is they're probably gonna dry rot and they can just explode randomly. Not good, don't do it. So make sure that they're 3, maybe 4 years old, not much older than that. You could maybe live with 5 if they've been in, covered or something, but just 3 to 4 is good, it's muy bueno. So make sure that you get a not too old a tire and you find a good used value, and you'll find shops that'll throw them on mounted and balanced for about $10 or $15 a tire. So save yourself big bucks. I hope you found this helpful. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't pounded the like button, please pound the like button. And check out my videos, fun stuff, everything from how to do a synthetic oil change for under 20 bucks to how to shave like a boss to how to save big bucks on tires. So thanks again for joining us today, and until next time.